Alright, good day to everyone, and I'm back to Crash Channel. When I didn't play it in a while, haven't played it in a while, so I hope settings are fine, well, with, you know, sound and stuff. I mean, it's supposed to be, I mean, I didn't change anything, so, yeah. I mean, yeah, wow, yeah, like 2 months. Well, I luckily remember where we were, so let's continue. Yeah. I think one of the problems that I could be walking into right now, because as far as I recall, I was kind of on Toko's route, but then it's kind of she died basically. As far as I recall, when I like played the game like the very first time, it was like in order of like senpais and Toko, then it was, I think, either Kiryu or Miki, not sure, and then Yoko. So I remember like the choice where senpai comes home to our home, right? And like there is like H-tins and stuff supposed to be. So I guess was there H-tins by the way? I really need to fucking remember. Give me a second actually. I'm gonna just see CGs because I mean it has gallery. I think it opens. So give me a second. So yeah. There were 2 H-tins, or I guess at 1 H-tin with like senpai. I forgot her name for some reason. I'm gonna remember it now. So yeah, and I remember there was like a scene at the beach and like there is a whole thing with her brother. So yeah, maybe it's like you can do it after you go to Hokora. Well, you know this like mysterious place, right? Maybe that's the case, and I don't recall if I actually went there. Maybe I didn't. So that could be the, you know, key piece to basically starting the route. So I need to recall that, remember that. Not remember that, but, you know, take it into consideration. So yeah, I try to adjust my voice to how it was, but, you know. Senpai and Miki were there. It looks like Tamaki and Sakuraba haven't returned yet. Miki? My heart leaped faintly, but that was all. She was energetic. I was heated energetically. I predicted it too. We both laughed. How's the work going? Is that good or bad? Give me a second, I need to stop time. That's nice. Ah, right. Flashbang. Ah! That would echo. I see. Ah, that's an adorable picture! If you'll do it in front of me, I'll simply bring it all up here. Yeah. She held her head. Come think of it, this is no time to do stuff like that. Also, it was actually my doing. Yeah, Misato. Her glasses tilted and clouded. It seems she's seriously been scared, sorry. An alarm clock? Right. That's why I threw it out. There aren't any people around to commit terrorism. Miki flapped her hands like a bird as she ran away. Make sure you flash! You gonna do a big one? A small one? She stuck her tongue out and went inside. And with that I'll take a short... Her tone of voice was calm, huh? Yes? Your thanks? Because Mickey is here. Maybe I should like... No, it was almost normal, right? I think it's supposed to be fine. Give me a second again. Yeah, I guess it's like usual, you know, when I imagine that things are louder than they actually are, so in the recording actually fine, so... whatever, yes.
いえ、何でもありません。どちらに？
I'm going to look for Kirichin for a bit.
またいじめましたね。
Yeah. Almost as if that would be a lovely occurrence. Yes, a little. I'm sorry.
いいえ、そっちの方が大切ですから、ちゃんとフォローしてあげてくださいな。
That I will do. And again I powed on the lies. I followed Kiri's presence. Since she has been walking this way, maybe she should go into the classroom? I don't think she should leave the building. I went to the first year classroom. And then... she was there. Her usual defense was back. For now I spoke up. Kirichin? What do I want to do? I don't know. An apology? More distraction? I don't know. I was disgusted with myself for not knowing. Kiri turned around and said...
あなたは薄汚い人殺しです。
I was lost for words. Those genuine things said by by Anna and the classman. Well, your anger is reasonable? Right?
怒り？そんな簡単な感情じゃない。あなたは敵です。あなたは
A quiet voice, quiet features, a quiet disclosure.
豊を殺した。
Unbelievable. Why would you think that?
私は知ってます。あなたがあの日、屋上で豊と話していたこと。
She knew. She knew. She knew. Kiri knew. That day? This can't be. At once my heart froze over.
豊が死んだ日です。ずっと疑ってた。けど、わからなかった。だからあなたには関わりたくなかった。けど、あなたから関わってきた。
There was conviction in Kiri's eyes. They were no longer smoldering, but burning down, making an aggressive color inside in her pupils. Wait a minute, isn't that strange? If I'd killed Yutaka, do you think I'd start talking to you?
話しかけないと思います。普通は。
Yeah, but he isn't exactly normal. It's true. I'm not normal, but...
私たちはあなたの獲物でしかない。あなたは飢えを満たしただけ。人間の普通なんてどうだっていいんです。あなたはそういうものなんです。人間の心を食べる怪物なんです。
She says whatever she wants. You know, Yutaka and I were friends. I had no reason to kill him.
動機なんて不要です。飢えに理由なんてない。
I scratch my head. Well then, why would I have to go out of my way to prey on Yutaka? Let's say I am a monster and I do make prey out of others. Don't you get the feeling girls would be better than boys?
フライドチキンの性別が気になりますか？
She says that and then this.
少なくともあなたが私を見る目はそうでした。
Just because, you know, well, since he's a guy, a lot of things would swell up.
あれは違う。
Do you have experience?
ありませんよ。けど異質なものくらいはわかります。
That's right, this girl. She was perceptive. Could you call it the power to see through malice? Overly sharp insight. If you look at me with those eyes, I will agree that the world is angry. So she chipped away at the benefit of the doubt with circumstantial evidence and intuition.
ずっと疑っていた。でもこの数日、私はあなたに気を許した。それが悔しい。でも、それであなたの正体がわかりました。
Can you work your hands outside the window? Crossbow.
あなたは
She pulled up a bundle of clothes. She'd hung it from the bottom of the window frame. She took off the clothes and... yeah.
薄汚い人殺しです。
The second one. In other words, that was Mickey's. A composition of me having been splendidly lured in.
動かないでください。
As a man saying this is embarrassing, but... your chance going to be met.
いいんです。あなたさえ排除できれば。私の次は誰ですか？部長先輩？桐原先輩？それとも、ミキ？
I don't make prey out of anyone. As long as I can nobly maintain myself. Also, people desire people. If you interact with someone using yourself as a pretext, it's over. Don't you have to put some distance between you and them before that happens? Because the world isn't kind. So Kiria should understand that. This contradiction... Do you understand it, Kiria?
信じる義理はありませんよね。
She readied her weapon. At this distance, she'll probably hit me. I was within the distance of the tree Kiria had practiced on. She wasn't liable to miss. Kiria, if you kill me, you're going to die too.
構わないです。
She smiled.
だって、どっちにしろ世界はもう終わりなんですから。
Even though none of the people you hate are here?
いなければいいというものじゃないです。正しくあってほしかっただけです。あなたにも。
Humorous intent. It crystallized, became a design surrounding the small Kiria and died here. If I die, so will Kiria. She was prepared for that. Just like Toko. He was thinking that it was good. On the other hand, I also want people. I want memories. I want to record them. I want to carve them into my heart. If I can just have memories, if I can just have that brilliant precious gem, I might really be a monster that lives by feeding on people's feelings.
死ぬ前に言い残すことはありますか？
She repeatedly shaking Kiri's hands and informed me that she's scared. Scared of killing a person. A heart strained with all its might. To burst the balloon of doubt and rationality, a little stimulus would suffice. Just the tip of a needle. There is a way to survive. But there is also the thought I'll go ahead and die. Hesitation. Accept it? I will accept death? Impossible, I thought. I don't think I can assent to my own death. I have strong self-preservation instincts. I should be tenacious like a desert insect. And yet, against Kiri's hatred, I was quite hesitant. I unexpectedly lost my temper. Even though I should leave. Even though I have nothing but despair. Even though I have to be laughing. Kiria, stop this. I took one step forward. This is no time for us to be killing each other, right? I took one step forward. And said that you hate me, but to kill me because of that. I took one step forward. Isn't that nonsense? I took one step forward. That would help either of us. You in danger too. If Yoko-chan saw it, he might die 1 second later. But how should I explain it to her? Explain how scary she is. I was impatient. I accidentally pried too far. As for Yutaka... Alright, cry. Over there. Right in my chest there was a solid black arrow sticking in like a joke. I made a blunder. I sat down in the spot from the shock of being shot. There is no pain. It's not unnatural at all. I couldn't feel how near death was. Is it really bad? Aren't I suffering? I slowly fell down sideways. I collapsed within the forest of desks. I could no longer see Kiri. Shallow breathing. I still won't die? I know that a great suffering was coming closer. I don't want this. I learned that instant death was happiness. Yeah, I'm not gonna ha, okay? I mean, I understand that that's breathing, but you know. I realized my breathing was becoming frighteningly shallow. My consciousness grew hazy. I heard Kiri scream, the sound of glass breaking. Outside my field of vision, something ate into flesh. My breathing abruptly stopped, as if my eyeballs had muddied or became dark. In my final moments, I saw her. And it becoming again. Right. I don't know if there will be something new, but as far as I recall, there will be an nation, right? So I also need to take saves later out. Oh, not out, but you know, copy them. So how should I go about it? Does it skip red text? I don't recall. Settings. Prevent or skip. But that's on after mods, right? Full screen, game speed. Once that's on, message will stop at red text. Okay. Well, I guess I will start at least after 18, you know, again. So yeah, see you in a minute or something. Okay, I think, yeah, that's after the scene and all that. So yeah, I think that's the same. So I'm gonna not like skip, but yeah, just like enter, you know. Wait, people say, huh? Yeah, I recall that. I think I recall that. Yeah. So yeah.
Fuyu... やめようよ、喧嘩は。
There is no like singing, yeah, which stops, which continues, you know, voice after skipping. Oh, anyway. Right. Yeah, I think I recalled it. Alright, then. Okay, let's save. Monday. 7 in the morning. Time to wake up. But you don't have to get up, my boy. Mother Elsa's gentle voice rang out, because that way I can eat you. It's not an old woman, it's a wolf. And so I should sleep. Happiness. I don't know anything about humanity or whatever being annihilated, but in this moment right now, my sense of happiness is so limitless it approaches God.
Daichi. Daichi. 起きて。
Ah!
起きないとエッチなことをすると思う。
I think I recall it, but anyway.
そう。
Excuse me? Russell, I'm gonna stop for a second! So yeah, I think it's the same, but it's still funny on Zoris, I guess. Yeah.
フェラチオ。
What were you doing exactly, right?
性行為はしないって言ったけど、
Oh, sorry.
フェラチオは含まれていなかったもの。
It's sexual act, but okay. Didn't I tell you not to do this sort of thing? Fellatio are normally considered sexual.
ルールを後付けするのは卑怯だと思う。
You call me unfair? Damn it. My spell got taken out. Damn dream demon! I can be left to sleep peacefully. What did you come here for?
お弁当、
Check out the paper bag. The people give you radios at your house when they deliver bundles, huh?
なぜか2人分。
Listen! Oh, never mind. There's no point in asserting common sense on a person who has none. I was tired. My vitality had been stolen.
報告が、
Huh? I changed my clothes. These panties have... Where? Stop! I threw them off! I wasn't particularly embarrassed to be seen naked by her. Actually, I didn't care at all.
拭いてあげる。
Yes, there is no need. Huh? No, that's okay, I can do it, my... Look! Sean's hand was gripping at lotion bottle. Don't you come within a 2 meter radius of me! Two legs frozen, please. If you're trying to massage my prostate, weren't you? Yeah, I think I actually read that.
いい
Okay.
え、
Is that payback for all the harassing I do?
いいえ、
Then why would you do such a thing?
好きだから。
Yeah. That's a lie! Why all took a pose like that of the naked adult male on one of the place showing the history of humanity on a certain artificial satellite that denied her words. Did you not try to enslave me with a prostate massage?
いいえ、
Damn female leopard! You won't admit your sins. I don't care anymore! I searched for your panties, right?
はい。
I took them. I was alarmed, but I put them on anyway. Huh? Right. You know this, like... virginity belt, or how that's called. Yeah. That was a metal pair of underwear. There was a clicking sound as if it was being locked behind me. I turned around to find that Yoko-chan had been doing something while crouched. What have you...
鍵、かけた。
And she will eat it, as far as I recall. Why?
鍵をしないと外れてしまうから。
Makes sense. I was asking why there is a lock on these panties!
低層体だから。
Chase the belt. Oh, I can take it off!
鍵がないと脱げない。
The key! I began to attack her.
ごっくん。
Yeah. She put it in her tongue and swallowed. Oh! Why? How?
先週の太一はエッチだった。
Yeah.
ダメ。
Sorry about that.
ダメ。そんなの。
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
その先週じゃない。
Yeah.
とにかく、目に余る所業。断固阻止。
Okay, then I should go to Hokoro this time. I don't get this. Besides, you swallowed the key.
もう外れない。
I'll give you an enema, you bitch!
いいけど、今しても無駄だと思う。それでいいならどうぞ。
Should go to me. This person can probably cough it back up on her own. Like a man who can swallow and cough up a goldfish without killing it. I was trapped. I was trapped too well. I was trapped by her.
落ち着いて。私の太一。低層体をつけたのには理由があるの。
You say there is a reason good enough to place the chastity belt in a commemorative share your joys and sorrows with?
今朝、少し調べてみたのだけれど、
The Dream Demon spoke on as if nothing had happened.
発電所に行けなくなっていたの。
The reason you gave me the chastity belt?
それと、祠の情報で大体把握できた。
The reason you gave me the chastity belt? Chan searched through my belongings. I don't guess
太
this.
一、これを。
I was handing a bundle of brand new notebooks. I think I should skip that, I guess. Yeah, bow wagged. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, there will be that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
ブラックホールじゃん、そこ。
Okay, there will be a choice. I think right here. Yeah. There is Kokora. I don't know what shrine there. A small kid Kokora. A place that might be dedicated to our worship god. No one goes near it anymore. There is something there. I return my gaze to Nanaka in order to ask her a trivial question. She disappeared. Along with her bike. The skiddies went chirping, quite new charm. Okay. Saving. And going to Kokora. The Hokora. I twisted away from the view of mine that said go to school anyway. I can do that fairly well, can't I? I think we will have countless possibilities. But for the most part, they just controlled by the individuality. People will generally make the same choices, but when you repeat the same situation hundreds of times, wouldn't probability demand that you do something extravagant? That's what I thought. I was trying to do something extravagant. I passed through here yesterday, alongside Despair, and now I was climbing the mountain once again, to go to the Kokora. I had no real objective, also I will focus this time on Mimi Senpai. Because as far as I recall, she was the first one. But anyway, I had no real objective. You could say going to the Kokoro was the objective. That girl, she said she was a Naga. The reason why she pointed me this way, I had a feeling I could find it. It had been a while since people had passed through here. The path to the shrine was covered in undergrowth, and I couldn't find it. I continued on the line intuition. Not long after. There it is. I said aloud. All noises vanished from the world, along with the presence of various living things, just humans. But the area around the Kokoro was silent. A solemn atmosphere. Even the air temperature was lower. The stress from the solitude made my throat dry. I got the feeling that I should not make any noise. I approached the Kokoro. There was clearly something strange about it. I couldn't put my finger on it, but this place was strange. Something deeper than rationality told me that. Even if it was strange, it didn't seem dangerous. I started observing the Kokoro. It was a small Shinto shrine set atop a high platform. I had a pair of double doors. It had a pair of double doors. And it was sealed with shiminawa, traditional shiminawa, lengths of rice straw rope used for ritual purification and warding against evil in the Shinto religion. They commonly seen at shrines, gates, and other landmarks. I had to see what was inside. There was a possibility that some strange monster was sealed away in there. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Now that it was common knowledge that the 21st century had rejected the next century by annihilating humanity, I felt without any basis that the Kokoro couldn't be that plain. I put my hands on the doors and opened them. I was surprised. In the demon-decorated space, there were no monsters or bottles or daggers or crystal balls. Just a pile of notebooks. Notebooks, yeah. 6 of them. Without discrepancy, they were student notebooks. It seemed like a total mismatch. And it took me by surprise. Not bad. I don't know who done it though. I took out a notebook. The covers were featureless, but they did have numbers written on them in a magic marker. Volume numbers. I read opening the notebook titled 1. Monday, I went to school today, but I caught class. Talk was especially harsh today. Must be biological. But I can't strike at her just because of her biology. He said I will do horrible things to her in this diary. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Here I raised up the vase holding its red rose. The flower stalk snapped and fell silently. The screen blurs. Right out, Finn. As I walked down the hallway, Mickey was doing some cleaning. My hand shot like a lightning aimed at Mickey's butt, yet I merely grazed her, failing to grasp her body. Until now, Mickey's always been sluggish and easy to touch. There is a grave situation, Mr. Principal, yeah. But seeing my people become more skilled does make me happy. The day should surpass, her master draws near. I went to clubs for the first time in a while, and Mimi Senpai was quite fluffy. Today I reached a milestone. I'm greatly moved. A lot of other stuff happened too, but overall it was a good day. This is my diary. I flipped through the following pages. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Without any doubt, it's the diary, but the strange. The next page, Tuesday. Objectify your emotions. Who was the one who was stuffed Kairi into the bread in the first place? That question has always tormented me. Tormist touches typo, a theoretical error in which he tied the meaning of torment to the connotation of misplace. In same way, Taichi mistakenly thought that turtlenecks were total necks because the total covers his neck. Totally covers the neck. But going belly and forth in search of an answer will only leave me with a hollow feeling at the end of the day. Belly Taichi's typo. But the way everyone said, God is dead, it may be easy to doubt the existence of a God, but for those who never give his existence a second thought and believe life is a straight line laid out for them every day, he'll suddenly profit first in the past. Profit Taichi's typo of repair. For example, yeah, the time to roll out a careless conversation with an obstinate woman. Careless, confused with profitless. For example, the time I met with a good friend of mine and an strange friend of mine in the same moments. And the times those two rebuilt a friendly relationship between themselves. Regarding either of one of them, yeah, okay, yeah, let's not read that. Yeah. Okay, I got famous verse. Have you another, Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's unmistakably my norm. But isn't it strange? I should remember what I wrote in my own diary. I definitely wrote it from time to time. In it, from time to time. That's not it. It's not in my memory at all. Was even here occurrences are entirely outside of my memory. By the way, it's not amnesia. In fact, I'm the type to remember needless details. I'm a memory hunter that would definitely never forget something like making marriage vows with a childhood friend, or being given truths serum by an enemy and creep out to my dream job. But the strength of my memory is good. Speaking of things outside of my memory, there is the scene of my own birth. Oh, the now I realized that Americans would find daylight instead, right? Now then, I'll continue reading Wednesday, next Thursday, and then Friday. Today we went to the beach, yeah. Wait. For no reason I remember the verse of that Nanaka girl and went to see the Kokora. I can get more done at night. My body's weird. There were many questions, but my thoughts wouldn't stop. Despite Nanaka's energetic suggestion, I sensed no abnormality from the Kokora. There was just one piece of paper in there, not from Yoko-chan. The paper was new. Several year records in here. As is always the case with her, there was no explanation for the reason. Because she is mostly complete as a human, she doesn't need to communicate her intent with other people. As a result, she tends to remove excess words. Certainly, and with poor speaking skills, often she removes so much and doesn't make any sense. But there is no mistake in what she says. I should do just that. I returned to my house and brought my diary here. That's why this will be my last diary entry. The first notebook and it's there. In the second, the content was nearly the same. Casual days starting on Monday, and on Saturday to the Kokora. The third, the fourth, the fifth. They were repeated. The content did different places. For instance, the timing of when I went with flowers, or my correspondence with Toko, Mimi Senpai. But overall, it looked like exactly the same week was being traced out repeatedly. Almost as if I'd repeated the same period of time several times over. Thinking calmly, there are a few possibilities these diaries could be shown. One, I had another personality that wrote them. Second, stuff I write in the future shows up here. Third, I was repeating in the same period of time over and over. The first isn't true, I can guarantee that. Even if you give a monkey a typewriter, it won't incidentally write up a copy of Shakespeare. Thinking realistically, number 2 couldn't be it either. 3. At the very least, there's a possibility that these 5 diaries were shown me. The memo mentioned earlier was inserted inside the first notebook, a very old memo. It looked like it had been written years ago. Oh, my records, huh? Well, she means diaries. Now why would I have to do that? The diaries will basically stop recording after Friday, though the force made an exception by continuing to Saturday. In other words, something happens after Saturday, so that in the end I'm being forced to redo everything from the beginning. Was the restart point Monday? It could also be Sunday. Since on Sunday I was feeling bad and didn't write in my diary, most likely I was taking the same actions and many possibilities. No, wait a minute. The world is repeating itself. That's extraordinary, but right now I should avoid jumping to conclusions. The conclusion is a reminiscence from the terminal point. It's no more than a process of reaching a decision after some process. Here there is a high probability that that the world itself is looping the same weekend at the infinitum. Now stop thinking right there. There seem to be rules to this loop, which includes the erasure of subjective memory. After the diary is cut off, the world should have rolled back at least 5 times. At the same time, my memory was also being completely rolled back. This produced a decision. There are no defects or obscurities within my memory. Since Yoko-chan is a kunoichi, it's no surprise that she realized the truth so quickly, and then left a memory for me. For some reason, that means Yoko-chan also loses her memory along with the rollback. I could extend this to say that all the others were the same. Mimi Senpai, Toko, Miki, and Kiri, Sakuraba, Tomoki. That's right. I'd come to understand the trouble of our present situation. My memory was being reset. In other words, even the memory of arriving at the true state of affairs this way is reset by the end of the week. Next week, literally, I'll be back to living through Monday without any doubts. I arrived at the truth again only because of being coincidentally guided to this Kokora. In such a situation, I'd have to furiously shoot a gun repeatedly and skillfully. I was quite unnerved. There is one other rule as well. which is this Kokoro somehow have always been affected by the loop. As long as I'm in this place, subjective time is preserved. Yoko-chan, how did you find this out? I couldn't understand it if the notebooks was there, but with nothing in there, how could one see through the peculiarity of this Kokoro? I didn't think it could be discovered with the abilities of the average person. Then again, she's nothing like a normal person. Yoko-chan, maybe she could. It did seem like she was investigating a lot right now. Still. I entered the Kokoro, I thought, cramped. Without folding up my arms and legs like a shape-changing robot, I could not win the invasion. What is that Nanaka girl anyway? I had virtually nothing to go on. She seems cheerful, wears a different uniform, rides a bicycle, has long legs, tie hunches, a bust far beyond the average value of her tie clothing. Unacceptable! My body increased. If I increase this much, won't I become able to enter this Kokoro? Also, I saw, but I managed to slide right in. I got an in, but I could not move my body around much. I was enveloped with the sensation of becoming a rectangle parallelepiped. I tried closing the door. Perfect. What's perfect? I've been doing it for a while, but at long last I grew wary of my four-cornered self. I couldn't feel any abnormality from the inside of the Kokoro. Even so, the flow of time really strange. Really strange. Or perhaps it's more correct to say that the Kokoro is sound and the town is strange. For now I left. I returned the notebooks. Information is precious. The more information is here, the better. For example, even if I am reset, Yoko-chan should be able to ascertain the Kokoro every time with this setup. While looking at the notes, she should be able to attain in an instant the conclusion I just thought up. That's right, your uniform. Nanaka's uniform. A design I'd never seen. That's a hint. It isn't certain that I won't meet her again. I do have the choice of searching for Nanaka, but it's probably not published in the uniform picture books I have. If it's not listed in those picture books, then I don't know. Oh, that was the matter. If I encounter her again, I'll have to caution her. Now then, why don't I go to school? For now, what I should do is pass the days and write my diary. It felt as if there was nothing else. Okay. So, club room. Because, me. So, yeah. Or maybe not. First year classroom. Yeah, club room. Yeah, club room. There was no one in the club room. The room feels small when we're playing around, but now that it's empty, it looks peaceful. The camouflage stuck on the hallway side of the window was peeling off. Those are pictures of an empty room printed out sideways and carefully lined up together. It's surprising what can be kept from you by a simple pane of glass. We always hanging around around here. Tomoki would sit down and read manga. Skrawa would be here too, and Senpai. He was Miki and Kiri's standard location. Miki? After that, I think she moved into Class X right away. Her condition had worsened. Class X is different from the others. At Ganji, it was the end of the line. That happens to be the happiest class. It's as if people's hearts can be predicted at all. Even though she was perfectly normal one day right out of the blue, there were people said to be at the limit of the human species. But I don't believe that. Disease. People become unable to contact and quench their hearts first through various media. It looks like putting hazardous chemicals into a mouse instead of real food. It was also twisted. The result was this. Seriously unadaptable person isolation facility, Ganji Institute. I should say that. Happy students to the guards, therapists and physiatrists and stationed here. A unique educational facility introduces a part of policies mitigating excessive benefits from the atomic power plants. Heal your hearts naturally. An optimistic catchphrase, but everyone knows. There is only one way to heal those with low adaptation coefficients. Beneficial contact with people. That is to say, we have to touch each other. But how can the frightened teachers and guards fulfill that role? There is no way they could. They have to make wounded boys and girls open up their hearts to one another.
Taichi?
Tomoki came out to me. Yes, it's come. He was displeased. Say what? Adaptive people tend to hold antagonism or terror toward others easily. In the former case, they're dangerous people, and in the later, they're pitiful children.
Taichi も来てたんだな。
Well, yeah, I wanted to know the situation. How is it?
同じ。授業がないからさ、すぐやることなくなった。
What about those new club activities? The provision procurement club or something?
生命維持活動部。
Weird name.
名前なんてどうでもいいよ。
When we all confirmed the situation on Sunday night, the first thing we thought about was food. Then Tomoki proposed that he would collect all the food remaining in the town and divide it up fairly. I offered to help, but he refused. Since snacks stealing appears to be taboo.
常人の数倍も食べるやつに任せられる仕事じゃないよ。
I told you I don't eat that much. That was Yusa's mama acting on her own.
とりあえず、ここが落ち着くんだよね。
He sat down in his standard vacation and unfolded a map. A map of the town. He had drawn symbols on it with a red pen.
ここは乾物ばかりだから保留と。ここの生ものは。
He muttered as he glared at the map. That form of him overlapped for an instant with the manga reading Tomoki.
何？
Oh no, it's nothing. I took out some rubber tape and repaired the camouflage. A meaningless act, but Tomoki said nothing.
先輩
Someone called me from behind. Yeah, done cleaning. Miki was surprised.
よく掃除をしていたとご存知で見てました？
Crap. That information top secret? Is there a reason to keep it secret?
内緒とは
Never mind, personal stuff. No, I'll keep it to myself for a while. I'm supposed to sexually harass you here. I'm quite active. What should I do? Harass and sign the life right. I betrayed myself. It's a challenge against fate. Miki, I hear the status quo.
なるほど
That's why I'll fight.
勇ましいです
The tension didn't matter. I changed my mind. That was truly the non-directionality of whimsical puberty. Non-directionality of whimsical puberty. And now that I've said it, blast and switch! My fingers went around Miki's back to her bra. To her bra hole, sorry. Grab. What? My fingers were intercepted by Miki's, and she got her hand behind her, well, facing forward. What reflexes, what flexibility, and my eyes did not overlook the tug. The flash of her bra visible through his sleeve. Then I'll do this! Single hook fishing! Single hook fishing is a forbidden move in which you stick your hand into the crotch from behind and deal up the underwear into the air. It was a mid-air shame game. But my fishing head was stuck when Miki clamped her sides shut. I couldn't pull it up like this. You blocked it! Her by size felt great, but the other plan was a failure.
そんなものですか
Miki was given off the aura of shonen manga hero who's gotten 7 times stronger after a really short training session. She's strong!
今度はこちらから行きます
Miki smoothly took on a new stance, as if dancing.
ごめん
I took on my stance, but Miki flew to my chest in an instant. Her narrowed fingertips touched my kneecap and slowly pushed outward. It tickled and I couldn't stay standing. This moment is!
北頭は意外と性感帯なのです
How do you? Okay, I'm not even. That's too surprising! Seriously tickled. I have been completely defeated. So that should be about it for the norm. Right. Do you have enough to eat?
はい全然平気です手料理と言いますとちとあれなのですが
Right, smile. So your lunches have been canned food.
まさに食パンと缶詰です
Not an impoverished lunch. Give her sandwich, don't give her one. I won't give her because senpai. Well, Yoko-chan did make them for me. I should eat them by myself. Oh, I really feel sorry for her.
そろそろ行きます
Okay.
そうです
As Miki walked away, she turned
ミ
around.
先輩部活再開したって知ってます
Oh, the one with the antenna. I have to pretend I don't know. That's different from not the active peace maintenance, from the active life maintenance club Tomoki's doing?
いや放送部のほらラジオ局の
Yeah. The one using some kind of community FM channel?
です
Didn't a lot of stuff happen to cancel it?
アンテナ り立ててましたよ。
Ah, this is dangerous. Not just because it's been left unfinished before.
こたつ使ってよちよちやってました。
Swain.
そんくらい危なっかしかったんです。
Ah, so it was a joke after all.
でしょうね。
We go to the Chaza and laughed weekly.
お互い頑張って生きていきましょう。
Indeed.
自分が可愛いですしね。じゃ。
Alright. Mickey stood up, one hand is left. Steals the club. I pushed the door open. There was resistance. It was being pushed from the other side. Pushed strongly. On the far side of the door, there was a little turbulence. It was the wind. The antenna, it was taking shape. A lot of tuning was needed for directionality and wavelengths and so on. But I don't have that knowledge. Senpai wasn't an expert, but I think she'd studied it. The senpai wasn't here. Tools. Stepladder. Books. An empty bag of bread blown away by the wind. Only traces of her work were left. So I guess she's not working 24 hours a day. I looked up at the antenna. The whole structure open to its surroundings. Apparently you need just the right environment to send out EM waves. It's a strictly local radio broadcast called Community FM. There's not a low enough goal for a school club to aim for. But the favorable location, the history of Ganja Institute, is a goodwill of interested local people. Those things tied together into this. The preparations still continued, but due to a certain incident with the loose ends, it had become rather indefinite. The antenna was delivered, but then left alone for a year. Those were the circumstances. Most likely the items requested for Ganja FM were filled with hopes and dreams for healthy young boys and girls. Sorry, but Ganja is no such thing. You could say the result was alright. Instead, Senpai plans to send an SOS. She said that on Sunday night, after we split up and confirmed that humanity had disappeared. Since the antenna had some attitude, an attempt to complete it so we can send a dispatch was certainly lacking in sense of realism. Honestly, I thought Senpai was falling apart. Fleeing makes people weaker, and Senpai was weak enough to begin with.
レケ君
Behind me, I turned to face her. Closer, Senpai.
ハローです。どうしました？
I came to see how things were going. Senpai smiled softly.
そうでしたか。
I have not come here for a while, but it's quite a way too long. Alone.
結構前からコツコツとやってますから。
Yes. After the broadcasting club broke down naturally, Senpai has done everything on her own. The lunch break DJ, various broadcasts, everything. No one helps her anymore. Kiria started being hostile toward me. Maki started avoiding his sister. Miki started smiling nervously. Toko started ignoring me. It's plenty trouble. Only Sakuraba didn't change. As always, he never showed up. Although I hung around Senpai despite all that. She refused my help. Is that so?
びっくりしましたね。それにしても
I bet.
人が一斉にいなくなるなんて
It's quiet.
すごく静かです。
Where were you?
ちょっとお腹が空いたので。
It's midday. Were you able to find any good food?
ああ、家に戻ってました。食べ物は特に不自由してないですし。
You got school. The prize was cutting.
違いますよ。これはサボりではありません。
She became worried. Senpai violates the rules highly. Suspension, that's suspension.
停学は嫌。履歴に傷が。
Suspension, suspension.
停学はダメです。
We frolic together. This way is the shortest distance between any of us right now. This was the shortest distance between any of us right now. For lunch I found that I did want to eat here after all.
Yo, Taichi.
It was curry bread Sakuraba. He really likes the super hot curry bread here. Humanity has annihilated, yet you still eat curry bread.
やらんぞ。
Don't need it.
これを食い尽くしたら、もう食い納めだしな。
His expression clouded. Behind him, cases filled with bread were stacked up in a tower. When were these delivered?
昨日じゃないか？
Yesterday. For at least half of the day, they were selling bread. His place basically functions as a dining hall. Weekends and holidays aside. Even during the opening ceremony, bread was being delivered. That's right. Now the world until yesterday, the world was being properly maintained. Even so, there is not much. The number of cases wasn't even a tenth of the usual.
始業式で半ドンだからだろ。
Even so, it's not much.
それに俺は 人類が滅亡したとは思っていない。
What did you say?
おそらく市民全員でかくれんぼをしているんじゃないか。
Said was it?
おそらく市民全員でかくれんぼをしているんじゃないかというのが俺の予測だ。
There's delusion. And don't use the word predict. Isn't that a theory you just swap?
手厳しいやつね。
Don't make that satisfied smile.
だが気にすることはない。時間が経てばみんな戻ってくるはずだ。俺の計算によるとな。
I may be carefree too, but you carefree down to the cellar level, aren't you? Why is this guy in the same place as all these wounded boys and girls? I'm seriously worried about it. Sakuraba held a piece of... yeah, worried about it. Sakuraba held a piece of curry bread out to me.
食え。
I don't want it! I shoot him down. In the end, there was nothing to do at school. Should I go home? But... is it okay to be this so easygoing? After Sunday, the world will roll back again. What should I do? What can I do? I wonder what Yoko-chan thought when she first found out. With what feelings did she leave that man was there? I was depressed. However, I live in this unpopulated bare world. Everything will be redone. Even if I work hard at the club, even if I procure food, even if I flee 1 week. With that reminder, I went over it again. Even if I live to the fullest. Is there any meaning in that? Empty thoughts. I squatted down in the hallway. Maybe this world is ideal for me. A world where mortal wounds aren't mortal. Back to normal in a week. Whoever it hurts, whoever it depends on, resets. I'll get close to Doko, then Mimi Senpai next. Then Kiryu, then Miki. Oh, maybe that's the, you know. Then Yoko-chan if I feel like it. Then Sakuraba. Not him. But as far as I recall, I actually did Senpai first, so... you know. My eyes went numb. My eyes have abnormalities. It doesn't impede my daily life, but every so often the world starts to look strange. Why? Is it just me? My heart was exhausted and for a while I couldn't move. Fast, okay. So when I went home, no one was there. Musumi-san wasn't there. On days when I came back early, she'd warmly come and greet me, make dinner for me. She liked having the table full of cooked food. Masculine food, must have been because of her job. It was luxurious and powerful. She told jokes along with me. She was a good person. But now the top of the table is void and flat. There is no cooked food steaming. I'm hungry. I brought some cup ramen from the Tasaki shop. Should I eat it? I can't use the hot plate. There's some space in the garden used for parties and I could boil it there, but too much trouble. I ate it as it was. Crunch crunch noodles. Gulp gulp water. Crunch 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 noodles. Gulp 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 water. Crunch 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 noodles. Crack dried menma. Menma is Japanese condiment made from dried bamboo. Translation note. It has become void. Am I truly eating? Having humanity unnerved really stuff. They were convenient in a lot of ways. I lit the candle. I decided to write in my diary, like Hemingway somehow. I looked for a university notebook to use as diary, but there wasn't one anywhere. Huh? I was sure I bought several. It says it's safe? I may as well check. My safe was meant to store erotic books. It's a fireproof safe, so even if something happens to the house, at least my arrows will be preserved. I opened the safe to see what was inside. 30 minutes later, I closed the safe. There's no notebooks in there. No goods. I lost a lot of time there. Seriously. When it comes to the contents of that safe, damn those small pink sinful spaces. Now then, where did the notebooks go? I have no idea. Memory loss? It's okay, my memory's been polished like a main character. Oh, that's right. The notebooks I got from Yoshiko-chan. The best possible timing. She's got a gut on her side or something. I throw off the crinklish ring for rope. Now then to write. I have no pen. I don't see it. It says it's safe? Right. Open the safe once again, looking for the pen. 45 minutes later, I close the safe. There was no pen. There was laugh. Even though I started early, these repeated battles have robbed it of all meaning. Damn dream box of boyish temptations. The pen had fallen to the side of my desk. I wrote my diary. At one point I needed a dictionary. By the way, there was no dictionary. Open the safe. And now, 27 minutes later, I close the safe. Whew. I'm making too much of a hassle out of this. The ultimate hack PO product name just felt way too good. It's already past 10. Ah! My extra large candle had already gone out. Crap, I allotted too much time for despondency. These were joke items like hack POs, but I must write my diary. I lit a new candle and faced the notebook. I opened my eyes. So I peeked through the window. I must have slept soundly, I didn't have a single dream. The time is 7 o'clock. There's no need to go to school. My body moved anyway. Breakfast hadn't been prepared. Obviously, Mitsumi Obasan made being beautiful in her career. She was also a great cook, but she was no longer here. She'd taken me in and made a peaceful deal with Yoko-chan. I had plenty to be thankful for. But before I could fulfill my filial duty, she disappeared. 2 paper bags had been left on the table. The contents sandwiches. Yoko-chan. One bag was a single portion and the other a double. One for breakfast and the other for lunch. The one for lunch had the double portion. The side of her seemed cute. She's not at all used to wooing people, because she's the type who can support herself alone. Even around me and acquaintance of hers for 10 years, she was awkward. She'd be simply perfect if she just tried. Time to eat. Even so, I put my hands together towards the house in the east. I met Yuzu-chan a lot on this road. She really got attached to me. She was a ticklish existence. As much as I could, I was making great efforts. Yuzu-chan's existence healed me as well. But now she's not here.
Yo,
It was Sakuraba. Yeah,
腹が減った。
you're not eating?
1時間目の授業に備えている。
You didn't calibrate your class?
カレーパンがなくなるその日まで。
Sakuraba decided coolly. Can you just eat the instant curry?
カレーは嫌いだ。
Huh? This guy really is an enigma. Why did he go out of his way to come here? It's not like his adaptation coefficient forced him. He must have pressured them with his father's resources. Meaningless. I just comprehended how meaningless your existence is.
親父は俺こそ世界そのものだと言っていたんだぞ。
Your pops was Father Colin.
不思議な言われ方だ。
Combat disciplines will be mourned.
おかげで俺は楽々通学。
Put my effort into things. Buy some my effort with that money of yours. Then after making an effort, take some damage for once.
難儀な注文を。
Sakuraba and I walked to school. Then,
ヘクシ
right. Hexagon?
夏風邪か
Right, I remember that. I can't skip that. Should I skip to just next choice or something? Right. No. Kiri was standing in the hallway. Kirichi! She glared at me. I glared back and Yodin. Bam 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 bam. Psychological effect. Reparty of gazes. Our pressurized animosity is crushed and swelled at midpoint. Damn you little girl! My hand entered my breast pocket, telling her I was going to pull out the weapon. Actually, I just needed to scratch my nipple. Kiri watched me always sensitively and slipped her hand into her pocket. She also has a weapon! With my hand still in my pocket, I felt and increased my eyes range. Crackle, 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 crackle. She didn't take her hand out of her pocket either. That work. Quick and draw. Whoever moves first would be killed. Then into that came Mickey wiping her hands on her way out of the bathroom.
トイレしてた隙に修羅場になってる。
Right, I remember that. Okay, let's... Yeah! Okay, let's actually go to the next choice, you know. Because, yeah, since it's skippable.
Yeah. 爆破スイッチ？これは人じゃないんですね。もう。
Did I have that? Give me a second. But yeah, I had that, so yeah, let's... Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that, okay. Okay, so... let's actually end here. Oh, I mean, the first part. So yeah. I think I will go to the club room. I will focus on, club and Mimi senpai, so we'll see, I guess.